Welcome back to the We Get to Do This podcast. I'm Kaylee.
And I'm Jacob. This is the show for anyone chasing something hard, where we turn I have to into we get to.
With real, relatable, and resourceful conversations on business, training, recovery, wellness, and mindset. Let's get into it.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Coach Jacob here. Season 2, Episode 3, Part C. Final episode in the little mini-series heading into the fall TCM build. But first, this coaching call with Matt, the final one, was all about the Chisago Lakes 70.3 try and the recap of it. We recorded it just over a day after Chisago Lakes happened, so it was pretty fresh. Got into the swim, which went way better than I expected once I stopped panicking about the fact that I was swimming a mile in open waters for the third time only in my entire life, and how much faster everyone was and how I could barely see. We'll get into that. And then we talked about the bike leg, where every single distance I hit a PR, and I also slowed down every 10 miles. My average just continued to drop because I went out super hot, which was a good time, good learning experience. And then the run, if you didn't hear it, got up to a feels temp of 106 degrees. I want a disclaimer by saying, I don't think running in that type of weather is a good idea. They didn't cancel the race though, and I felt like I took the necessary steps, which again, we'll talk about in this episode, to be able to get through it. So I'm excited about that. I'm happy about how my body performed given the heat, but it was definitely dangerous. It felt dangerous, and I'm happy that I had a good running partner there with my friend and mentor of mine, actually, Dan from over at Performance Running Gym. Shout out, Dan, if you're listening right now, to kind of help me, kind of pull me along through that run. So, so we go through this Chisago Lakes try recap, and then dive deep into fueling and mindset too around both of those topics specific to Chisago and kind of what we're going to carry into this fall build. And then we end with talking about the fall build. Close it out by kicking off the Twin Cities Marathon build, which is about 9 weeks away. I hope you all enjoyed this mini series. Thank you for following along as always. Feel free to hit the like, subscribe, review, give us 5 stars. That'd be great. Otherwise, enjoy it, y'all, and we get to do this. Dressed up nicely.
Dude, just got off work.
Dang.
Dude,
Let's do this thing.
how was it? Holy shit.
A blast.
Wow. Okay. You survived the heat. Clearly, you're alive. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And it looked like you crushed the swim. I was worried about that for you.
Yeah. I think everything went pretty good. I'm pretty psyched about how everything went. All in all, especially the run.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Tell me about how it started.
Well, I was the most relaxed going into a race I maybe ever have been, which was nice. Just not having any goals, really. I was just like, I'm just going to have fun and see what happens. The swim was not nearly as bad as I was expecting it to be. I probably partly because I started towards the back and stayed on the left, far left the whole time. I definitely, I should look at how much. I'm sure I swam more than I needed to. And I kept doing this, veering out and then back in, it was all of the stuff with the swim that we thought would probably happen, considering my experience with this type of thing, happened. So I was not bummed about it, because I was like, this is a win if I get through this. In my mind, if I get on the bike and it's an hour later, it's a win. And I started the swim at 7:03 and I left at 8:04. It was perfectly an hour when I was on the bike. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll take it. I was probably one of the last people out of the lake. I'm pretty sure I got caught by so the waves were staggered by, I think, 3 to 4 minutes. And the wave directly behind me all passed me. And then I'm pretty sure the wave behind that also caught up to me and dusted me. So I got to pass a lot of people on the bike though, which was fun.
Yeah.
Felt like
fun.
it. But yeah,
Isn't it?
Good.
Well, I just think it's incredible how fast people are in the water.
Dude, unreal.
Like,
People had me beat by like 20 minutes. People were doing that thing in like 35 minutes. Like that. And that was like, not like the elites. The elites were doing it, I think, at like 30. And I was like, what the heck? But it's interesting because I got done with the swim and I was like, that wasn't hard, but I think I need to just practice to get better at just simply, I think it's a mechanical thing, where it's like, I can't, like on a bike and on a run, I can push into threshold zones and like, I can get my heart rate to 180, no problem. But swimming, it's a little harder. I still feel like I just have one gear. Like once I learned how to swim, I guess. So I think that's just like, and when I tried to speed it up in prep, I kept messing up my neck. So I think there's just learning to be done and just I've never swam. Like,
that's true.
I took swimming lessons until like level 3 or 4 or whatever, but I never learned how to swim and never really did it. So to think about where I was in not even a year ago, like 10 months ago, dude, versus swimming a mile straight, I'll take that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And then the open water swimming is just so different from pool swimming. It's so much better, despite the wetsuit. Like it's hard.
Yeah. I mean, this could be to complete arrogance or ego, whatever, but I truly feel like if you took that's a mile swim in the pool, I feel like I could hold sub 2, no problem. Yeah. I mean, it'd be really but I feel like I could do that, and I don't know. So maybe I'm wrong about the having gears, because I definitely feel like I can hold that in a pool. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But if I do it again, foggy goggles, I never was able to figure that out, like keeping my goggles fogged up. So I stopped like 3 times and just treaded water and wiped my thumbs on the goggles.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I talked to a couple people, and I think my goggles might just not be great goggles.
What kind of goggles?
That's not a super, from what I've talked to people.
Most goggles have like that built in,
like anti-fog or something.
Yeah,
because they kept fogging up, and they do that in the pool too. I just deal with it because I'm in a pool and I can see the line, so I'm like, whatever. Like it's just just so when I started doing, say it again.
Well, it's really difficult when you're trying to sight.
Yeah, it's not possible.
Totally
couldn't do it. Yeah,
and so then you don't have a lot of people around you. Yeah, if you don't have a lot of people around you, so you're just like disoriented with the direction that you need to go in.
Yep.
Yeah,
and that happened from like it was probably around like 1500. There was this gap between a couple of the waves where I was kind of in no man's land and I couldn't see anyone, because I was just like, basically I couldn't sight. 1, because my experience isn't there, and 2, because of my goggles and like just whatever. So I was basically, I switched, and I also usually 3-stroke, including in the open water practice. Completely. I threw that out of the I didn't do that. I couldn't, because every time I tried to 3-stroke, I would be like way out to the left. Yeah, and I couldn't keep straight, so I just started doing one breath, whatever, on the right, and I just kept someone in my eyesight, and that's how I was doing it, and I just stayed with them as long as I could until I could, like, and then I found another person once they got too far ahead.
Oh, interesting. So you had such trust in the people around you.
Yeah, I was better than I was doing, which I know you're not supposed to do that either, but yeah. And then at one point though, there was no one, and then that was when it was like, shoot, okay, now we have an issue, because I couldn't. Yeah. And then the other thing is, I've never swam at 7 a.m. That was probably the biggest swim thing. The sun reflection on the water on it. And then like at one point you're looking directly in the sun. So then I also lost my ability to see people. So if I just learn how to sight, I feel like this is all solved anyways.
So did you not practice sighting at all in open water?
Not really. No. I mean, I asked a buddy what that even meant the night before the try. And he was like, oh, I literally just like lift my head up and look straight ahead every few strokes, which I still don't know if that's true. Is that true? I don't even know. Yeah. So there you go.
Well, yeah. Oof. I kind of feel bad I didn't ask you about that earlier. Because it is. I mean, it is.
That was my 3rd open water swim ever. So
Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's tough because like when you lift your head out of the water, then your legs sink. Right? So you have to like sight with your head still kind of in the water. So it's like this really specific. And then what I do is like, I really try to have like a strong pull before I sight. Right. So I'm creating a lot of forward momentum before I like lose momentum because my legs will sink just a little bit. And then I'll do that every like fifth stroke. So it's like breathe, and I'll do that 5 times, and then I sight 5 times, sight 5 times, sight. Yeah.
Good to know.
Well,
yeah, I think I could do the swim so much faster just if I get like simply better at, I guess that sounds stupid, but swimming, the technique of it. Aerobically, it has never, it wasn't, every time I swim in open water, especially, I'm like, that's not that hard aerobically, but I like, I think I just get the technique down if I do that again.
Yeah.
Which,
and I will say, I guess I shouldn't be giving you any feedback because I'm a freaking shitty swimmer myself. Like I did that swim leg for an Olympic triathlon, and I was nowhere near the lead. I was very middle of the pack and got swam over by a bunch of people and got passed by also a lot of people in different flights. And I swam like 300 extra yards because I just intentionally didn't want to be near anybody else because I was traumatized by being swam over.
Yeah. It is impressive. I knew some people doing the try, and I was shocked at how just dusted I got in swimming. I don't know why. I don't know the ignorance I had on that. It wasn't that I thought I was better. It was more that I didn't realize how bad, how slow I was. I guess. I felt like I was doing okay, and people were just like, I was like, what the heck?
It's insane. Yeah. Like few things I felt more humbled by than swimming.
Yeah.
Even when like I put in so much time swimming and like getting better, and I've gotten better, and then people are literally swimming 45 seconds faster per 100 than me. That is so much over the course of 1,500 yards. Like that's literally almost like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh gosh. Yeah. So I feel that. Okay. So you got through the swim.
Survived the swim. And then I was probably close to dead last when I started the bike. Wow. I think I got 100 out of like 160 though. So, or 105 out of 150 or something like that. So
what?
I'll take it. Yeah.
Dude, that's great. Okay. So
maybe I'll try to crack top 100 next time. Yeah. The bike was the most, I felt the most undertrained for the bike.
Okay. Yeah. That's not so.
You could say I was undertrained for the whole thing, I guess. Cause again, like swimming, I was definitely not, but the bike, physically, that was the one that hit me in the face. Like when I was swimming, I was like, this is so much fun. I'm having a blast. I got out of the lake and I felt so energized. Dude, the bike was tough. Yeah, that was tough. I think that if I do this again, but simply just longer bikes and harder long bikes. I literally PR'd every distance on the bike. I sent it like it was like 17 for 5, 17 for 5, 17. Then I hit a 16 and I was like, let's go. And I just kept doing that. And then the hills came at like mile 30. Oh boy. But I held like 20, 21 per 5, 21 to 20 minutes per 5. And like we were climbing and I was working. And then the last 10 miles, I was like, man, this sucks now. And I wasn't balking. It was more of just like, reminded me of like, the first few times you ever do like a long run that you haven't done before in the last like 30 minutes to an hour, but you're like, I haven't been here before. I haven't felt this,
this is,
and I think, and I think I managed it, but I definitely felt because I hit 20 in, I think it was 68 minutes.
Okay. Yep.
Because I remember doing the math and thinking if I can hit 40 in 220, that'd be pretty sick. That was my goal. And then that didn't happen. But I did hit 50 miles in just over 3 hours. It was like 3:01. So I was like, sick.
Pretty good.
And and I realized I was like, I don't think I've biked 50 miles ever in under 5 hours. So I was like, I've never pushed that hard on a bike ever. Yeah. Like until this month, or for that long, until this month, I didn't, so I think if I did it again, I would do just simply bike harder for longer to get my legs used to that, and then more climbs for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there were some long climbs that I got through it, but I was like, I was like dropping gears, and like I stood up a few times and just like really had to like work to get through them. And then you get to the top and you're kind of like, it reminded me of being like a fifth grader and biking up a hill for the
Yeah.
first time. We were just like huffing and puffing, barely moving the wheels, versus like getting up and going.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. What kind of bike did you use?
I have a hybrid felt bike, which maybe get a new, like an actual road bike at some point too. But
Was it a flat bar? Flat bar, or was
it
it?
has the two hooks or the two.
Oh, okay. So it's drop down.
Yeah, it has the drop.
Were
It
you-
doesn't have the thing that you can do this on.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
has the.
Were you down in the drops at all, or were you just on?
No, we had talked about this actually. I mainly just stayed. I don't know if you can see. Can you see this?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, she's a beauty, baby blue.
Hey, that is nice. Look at that, dude. Looking fresh.
Yeah, I got a bike fit and everything. Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah.
So not really. I think it'd be worth getting fitted again. I got fitted when I first bought the bike, but I still feel like I'm more comfortable up on the tops than I am on the bottom ones. And I don't know if that's a bike fitting thing or maybe me just getting comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's always supposed to be that comfortable. It's just supposed to be more aero. So I mean, swimming is very similar to cycling in that you have like the more aero you can be and the smoother you can be, like in the water, for example, to like reduce your drag, the faster you can go without putting in any more effort.
Right.
So with biking, yeah, like even the clip bars and you're like in a more aero position, that would probably give you an extra mile to 2 miles per hour with the same exact effort, just because you're in that more aero position and there's less drag. So I think even those little tweaks that you can, like, I think would make a huge difference. In addition to getting more fit on the bike, improving your strength, getting better at climbing. But I think that's where in triathlon technology matters a lot. It's just you invest in technology and that's like immediate boost in performance, which is nicer bikes and nicer wetsuits and stuff like that. So not that you have to do that, of course, but just getting, some of the gear can.
Yeah.
help.
I mean, I changed it every in between each two. And again, I went into this I was like, I'm going to do that, but I'll definitely get a try soon if I do it again, just not to have to change. I mean, that was like probably 3-4 minutes.
Oh,
there.
wow. Yeah. Okay.
Um,
So then you got a little wrecked on the bike. That was tough.
yeah.
And then
but again, that was like more of my legs felt great for the run. I felt like all the brick workouts we did, I'm a little bummed that it was so hot because I feel like it was the heat that held me back in the run than it was like a brick thing. I'd be curious to know if I could have done the half, how much faster I could have done the half if it wasn't. I mean, I think I texted you this. What the feels like got up to 106. Like it felt like stupid being out there.
that sounds
like,
dangerous.
It wasn't, I was like, how are we doing this right now? This doesn't, but the aid stations and the volunteers, thank God. I mean, they're like, people were out with sprinklers, hosing down sidewalks, like in between the aid stations. They had an aid station about every mile and a half. So it was very ultra vibed where I was like, just get to the next aid station and then you get a 2-minute cool down break and then get to the next. Right. So we were taking, it was like mile and a half, run at like 9-minute pace. Which, if you followed along with my journey, like for a half, even off the bike like that, especially after the workouts we did, that is a lot slower than I thought I would have been going. But it was like 9-minute. It reminded me like of, okay, this is good Javelina practice. And it was keep your heart rate from going to 170, essentially. It's like keep it down. Go as slow as you can so you're not, and then I had Kaylee give me an ice bandana at mile 4. So I would literally this much ice. I would stuff the thing full and it would be bouncing on me. Oh my God. It was lifesaver. And then I
Was
got
it? Okay, good.
sponge baths at every aid station.
Okay.
So I'm just like, I am very proud and grateful for how my body handled the heat, because Natura, like I don't have a great track record with heat in general. So I'm pretty stoked about how I handled that, because that could have gone a lot worse. That could have gone way worse. And I got pretty nauseous like the first 2 miles, 3 miles until I got the bandana. And I was pretty worried about finishing that thing for that little first chunk. And I was like, man, this, like, I was like, I'm not getting heat exhaustion out here. I'm like, or stroke or something crazy. And I did not feel good that first 20 minutes. And then I got that ice pack. Crazy difference. My heart rate dropped. It felt very doable at that point. Like I was even like starting to speed up. Like it was
Okay.
night and day. So thank God for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Good thing to keep in mind for sure. So a big thing with
I'll
heat.
use that probably now.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I think a big thing with heat is oftentimes because of the risk of nausea, people stop eating and stop taking in calories. So
I didn't take a gel till an hour in.
Wow. Okay.
I couldn't.
So were you fueling? So talk to me about your fueling throughout the effort. So how'd you do in transitions and on the bike?
Perfect. I think I took a gel right before the swim. I ate like a normal breakfast. I drank coffee.
Nice.
We talked about that on the last episode.
I
did everything like I normally did. Oh, great. I didn't have any pooing issues this time. I took a gel right before the start. And then right out of the swim, I didn't fuel or anything until I was on the bike. I was just like, get on the bike and then you can fuel because I had everything packed in the bike.
Good.
Dude, I mean, the bike got hot the last 10. So I ended up drinking more than I thought I was going to. And I did use the bottle swaps. And I took in, let me do some math. I want to say I took in 2 Go bars, 2 Perfect bars, and 3 gels on the bike.
Whoa. Yeah. You ate bars.
So I took a lot in. I did. I practiced with that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I felt like that was all good. I don't think I needed the last Perfect bar. I took the last Perfect bar. My mouth got pretty dry. So I ended up spitting half of that out, or like because I was pretty see by that part.
So how many bottles did you end up?
3, 4, 3. Because I drank. Go ahead.
I was just curious about how big the bottles are. Are these 16 ounces or 20 or 24 ounce bottles?
One is a 24, and the other 2 I want to say are 16s.
Okay.
But I only had the 2 16s with me though. The 24 was back at camp. I never actually used that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I ran with 2 handhelds that had I want to say 16s, and then on those 2, and I did dual running with them.
Nice.
But I actually did go on. I passed it to Kaylee like 3 miles in and just refilled every station because I didn't want to run with 2.
Okay.
Even in the heat. So I think that I might have also taken too much in maybe for the heat, and I couldn't like digest it great, and that's why I got nauseous. I don't know. I was pretty thirsty at the end of the bike, so maybe too much soda, something with that potentially.
Yeah. Interesting.
But it was every 20 to 30 minutes I alternated gel bar.
Okay.
And then drink water every 10 minutes, like a good guzzle. And I was on the bike for 3.5 hours. So
yeah, that's a long time. Yeah. I think if you were to do this again, I would not touch solid food. Like bars.
Interesting.
I think especially with the heat, sets you up to fail because it draws so much moisture to just get those suckers down. So I would just do straight carbs, like carb fluid.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think for probably most people, like if you're under 10 hours in an event, to just do like carb fluids.
Thanks. So you think for Javelina I should do that? I'll try it.
I've been running a lot with Will Murray recently, right? So he won Javelina 100. and he was 8th at Western States. And that was a very disappointing day for him. He only uses fluid carbs.
Just liquids. So I think for that, then my question is, do you use like a high carb mix? Because the carb mixes I have like, it's like 20 grams with then like 350 milligrams of sodium. And I did 3 scoops per bottle. So yeah, I think that's what I need to do. Because how many 90 grams? How much sodium is in a scoop of that?
So we have 3 scoops is a serving, and that's 90 grams, and then that's 680 milligrams of sodium. And what I would do is just add more salt.
So you do more salt?
Yeah, just add more salt. Yeah. Like if I was presented with a race like you had, I'd have to maybe crunch some numbers and, maybe do some math about how much sweat I think I'm losing. And I kind of sweat a lot, or like my sweat is pretty salty. So then I'd maybe do more like 1,200 milligrams.
Do you do that per hour?
Yes, I would get for sure one of those bottles in an hour.
That's crazy.
So,
okay. Oh, okay.
So then if I were to have fueled in your race, right? So probably what I would have done or would have encouraged you to do is, I think everything you did up to the swim, great, awesome. And then swim, and then have something at transition to take, right? Whether that's a gel, a smaller bottle to just guzzle, something in transition to fuel up. Just because then you're not packing it on the bike. Because then if you're limited by the number of bottle cages that you have on the bike, right, that's a limiting factor, obviously. So then and then I'd probably go through, I'd think about your bike being your main fueling event, because it's so much easier to fuel on the bike, less risk of GI issues. It's easier to fuel on the bike just with positioning. And I would just do fluids, like high carb mixes and water, right? And then over the course of 3 hours, right, at least, probably on the bike, probably at least 100 grams an hour on the bike, if not more, because your body can just take so much more. And then on the run, I think it sounds like what you did is the best possible thing that you could have done, is having the handhelds and stopping at the aid stations. And again, with like the nausea stuff, I think doing straight fluid carbs reduces some risk of that as well. Because even sometimes gels can be an issue when it's really hot. If you're like slurping down a hot Morton from your back pocket, that consistency is pretty freaking gross. So so I think that might be something to think about too for Javelina, for sure.
Yeah.
Kind of maybe doing more liquid carbs. And then I think you have to ask yourself is that enough? Right? I think some people gravitate towards real food because I think it's just this way more satisfying. And if you get to an aid station and you see a pizza and you're 5 hours in, then you're like, oh, fuck, man, I want to eat a pizza and not slurp down the same high carb mix that I've had for the last 5 hours. I think that's great. But I think you are for sure capable of just doing high carb drink mixes if you want it.
Okay.
And then that's the way to get in the adequate amount of fluids. In addition,
what about sodium per hour? Do you think is there a too much?
For sure. Yeah. I think that would be, we would have to really spend some time. If you really want to get this dialed, we would have to spend some time really thinking about it, and thinking about your weight, your sweat kind of ratio. You could pretty easily get one of those patches, like those Gatorade patches.
I might need to actually do that. I think it's time.
I think just to put yourself in the range of like, what do you think? Like, are you like a high sodium sweater or a low sodium sweater? Are you a high volume, like, just in terms of water loss sweater or not? And you can do that with the patches. You can do that with like visually. Is there a lot of like salt residue on your body after runs? Weigh yourself after runs, and then just try to like do the math on that. That's kind of a crude way. Is like if you're losing 2 pounds after a 2-hour long run in the heat, you're not drinking enough water, right? You're going to want to maintain close to what your body weight is naturally. And you're going to, of course, lose some water weight for sure. That's just part of the process. But I think to reduce the severe consequences of under hydrating and under consuming electrolytes, you're going to want to put some time in thinking about it. Yeah. But yeah, you can definitely drink too much water and you can definitely take in too many electrolytes. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can spend some time doing that. I would maybe do some quick research in maybe one of the patches, because this might be a really good time to do it anyway, because it's still the summertime. And the likelihood of Twin Cities being hot is quite high. Like if we're looking back on the last couple of years.
Yeah. I'm going to hope we're going to have a nice 50, 40 degree day with light rain.
Oh, gosh, dude. I'll be hoping myself.
But yeah, I did take 2 gels during the run, but I didn't get the first one done until 5-6 miles in. When the nausea kind of subdued, and I didn't do any liquid carbs. At that point, I was just guzzling water. I really just wanted water.
Okay.
So,
did you drink?
Do you have any idea what that means? If I actually don't. I mean, I think that if I am craving water, just like I don't want salt, I don't want carbs. Is that do you think that does that mean anything? Does that mean like I have too much salt in me? Do you think? Does that mean that?
No,
it's just
I think
nuts.
Yeah, I think it's more so that. I think it's just like you had such water loss.
Yeah.
That your body was just so desperate for water.
Yeah. That is the most water I have maybe ever drank without peeing.
So then,
I didn't, when I finally did pee again though, it wasn't I think I did good. But I mean in the sense that in the span of that 2 hours that I was doing the half, I put down, dude, probably 5 to 6 of my handhelds in the span of that 2 hours. Okay. Every aid station I refilled it, and sometimes I refilled it, chugged it, gave it to them, refilled it, and went on again. Every single aid station.
Wow.
And I didn't pee until I got to Kaylee. But I mean, it was it was yellow. It wasn't but it wasn't brown or anything crazy. So
okay, that's good. Yeah, I think if you would have maybe had 2 more bottles on the bike, right, probably 4 24-ounce bottles probably would have been necessary on the bike.
Probably just under fuel.
And I think and then of course I think only having 2 gels on the run, that wasn't enough fuel, but obviously your body was craving the water more than anything else.
Yeah. So maybe I was just dehydrated.
Yeah.
Well,
and I think it's but it's really impressive that you still finished the way that you did in the run and you were as consistent as you were in the run, which showed that you were still in a pace range that was sustainable. You were probably in kind of a zone of running that was your all day zone.
Yeah, that was my biggest takeaway. I was like, man, I feel like I can hold this just all day. I was like, I feel like I'm chugging right now. And I feel like I could keep doing it. So I was pretty psyched about that.
Yeah. So you probably were, more in your zone 2 than you were in your threshold, for your run, which you had to be. Otherwise you would not finish.
I did take my first mile was 750 and I was like, oof, that was a hard 50.
Spicy. Yeah.
I was like, that is not what that was supposed to feel like.
Yeah. So was this your longest event? Race event?
No, but it was good for me to do something like this closer to Javelina. No,
okay.
It was my longest event at that intensity though, at a higher intensity. I've done a 50 miler that took this was back when I had no fueling. it was bad, like experience. So we did like gels every 45 minutes. I'm talking like a goo gel every 45 minutes of like 20 grams. And I don't remember, we drank for agua, maybe a noon tablet and like a handheld type of thing. That was brutal. It took us like 16 hours. We did the whole Grand March, the bike loop in Minneapolis, with ground rounds,
Whoa.
grand rounds during COVID. Josh and I, my older brother and I,
Whoa. Yeah.
and yeah, um,
Okay.
that took us the entire. It was like
16 hours is
4
a
to
long
8,
time.
some crazy shit. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
it was gnarly.
Huh.
But we stopped for an hour in the middle and ate Subway. Like we were very like, all right, COVID, let's just go do a 50 miler. F it.
That's
No train, like no
pretty
no
badass.
specific training for it. You know, we were like marathon trained. So, and then the other effort that was pretty long, I did a 50K also in that time frame on the loose line. That didn't take as long. I don't know what the time was on that, but it was more like, I don't know, 7 hours
7
probably.
hours.
Something like
Yeah.
that. And that was also like that was our only prep for that 50 miler. We were like, all right, let's just go do this. If we can do this, we can do 50. And then I did 36 miles. I did the Porcupine Mountain Trail, like the big ass loop in Michigan. That also took 12. Because once again, learning lessons and all this stuff. We went into it and we didn't know. I don't know how we would have. There was a section of the trail that wasn't marked or groomed.
Oh.
And I don't know if it was I don't remember exactly why this happened, but it was like a 3-mile stretch that we had to like figure out our way through. That was very complicated. So it had a ton of time. Yeah. And then we ended up, it was a whole, not prepared enough that we should have been. So it took longer.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I helped on
So
a
you've
few.
had a couple, but this one, did it take what, 6 hours and change? For you to
Yeah,
finish?
my chip time was 6:48 after
Okay.
everything. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I'll take that. I was
think
like,
that's great.
if I can reach
Yeah.
6 to 7 hours, I'll be happy with that. So
And for you to do that in such intense weather too,
yeah,
shows a lot of progress, I think, both in your fitness, but also in your fueling strategy. Like we're talking about, again, how I think you can maybe fuel better, but clearly you fueled well enough that you survived an event like that and you felt pretty good in the run for the most part, right? That's huge takeaways, huge takeaways. And especially for you not to be targeting this event, like this was one step mostly for fun, but towards a much larger goal. So I think there's a lot to celebrate there. Yeah.
yeah. And mentally, I was just so good to myself the whole time. Really, I mean, I don't think I ever really got negative, which is another good learning lesson too. But I think I have to like take those mindsets, even if I have a goal, like a big goal. Like, there's nothing.
Yes.
And I think because of that, my body was like rewarding me with like, yeah, we'll keep going then. Thanks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, this is great. I hurt, but like, we're fine.
Yeah. What was that inner talk? Like what was different this
dude, I was just like, I was just like happy. I don't know how to describe it. That's all I was saying. I had a lot of miles where I thought about nothing. My mind was just blank. There were times on the bike I just randomly started singing to myself. You couldn't have headphones, so it was just in my head. There were times when I was like, wow, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. There were times when I was like, I am moving, just like, the only time that it really I really had to do some negotiating with myself was like the later stages of the bike where I was like, this is hard, but like, this isn't as hard as other things you've done, like you're fine, just keep going. And then I, would be fine. And then during the start of the run, there was some negotiating there of like, all right, at what point does this become unsafe? And do you have to actually like, walk the rest of this and not run it and just call it a day?
Totally.
And then honestly, I was just kind of like, get to the next aid station, get ice, and then recalibrate. And I just kept doing that. And then at like mile 5, 6, I was like, well, if I made it this far and I still feel like this, I'll probably be fine. And the ice actually cooled me down throughout the race. I kind of felt like, so like by the end, I honestly felt better like mile 10 than 2. So,
wow, that's huge.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I
yeah,
got I just feel like gratitude for my body because I got a buddy who got heat stroke during grandmas and he is not well, and I feel like awful for him. And it's just like using the we get to do this mindset a bit. It's like, man, this could be taken away from me, and I am not willing to I was like, just it hits closer to home when something like that happens to someone like right next to you. And so. Yeah, I just was like so grateful for like all my body has done for me,
yeah,
especially in the heat. So I was just like, pray.
yeah,
I was like, you're good. Whatever you want to do today, you're fine.
yeah.
Kind of mindset.
Well, I think this would be a great opportunity for you to spend some time sitting with this and maybe writing some stuff down about what worked well with the conversations that you had inside of your mind during
Okay.
those hard moments, right? I think this would be a great time. So I'm going to encourage you this week to think about that. Like specifically, what were you saying to yourself, right? And then what was this gratitude practice that you pulled out of your pocket? Like whatever that might be. And I would love to have another conversation with you. This is top of mind because I just had an in-person session with like a high school girl who's been having some like anxiety issues with racing and performing and pushing her body. So
Feel that.
we talked about all of these tools that she can kind of cycle through in the middle of a race and then just keep trying each tool to see if like something is going to resonate in that moment. Right. And one of those tools, like you did, it's just getting to the next aid station, getting to the next mile. And that's your finish line. Right. No, that's your only focus. It's like digestible. It's like break that into pieces. And then up next is an affirmation. Okay, trying a little affirmation. Like whatever kind of like even we get to do this, right? It's like a mantra, like something that you can express verbally and own and that it means something to you. Like I had a very silly saying when I was in high school. I did this whole practice where I'd be like in a really hard race and I'd be pushing myself and it would be uncomfortable and I didn't want to be there anymore or it wasn't going my way and I didn't feel good at my body. And I'd say, smooth as me, I'm fast as like silly, goofy, right? But
Yeah.
I just had that in my brain that just like expressing it made me like smooth. Okay, I'm thinking like smooth thoughts. So I'm not like pushing, I'm not straining. And then I'm like flowing and I'm like a river, right? And then I really start to do that practice of like, hey, relax my shoulders, like eat, like accept the effort. Don't push the effort, right? Let it come to me and be grateful for this effort, you know, inviting me to this dance, right? You I think that could be a really powerful shift in a race. And even something like attaching yourself like a tick to somebody next to you, where you're not thinking at all. You're just mirroring the move of somebody else. Just to give yourself a mental break where it's like you're not thinking anymore. You're going their pace. You're not looking at your watch. You're feeling like shit. And you're like dissociating a bit from your body and focusing on something else and something else. And I'll do that sometimes when I'm in like a group workout is I'll look at like, if I'm running behind somebody, I'm like focused on like a mole on somebody's back. I'm like, that dude, that mole, dude, I am that mole, dude. Right? Or the way that their head just like bobs up and down, like that's my focus. And I just focus on this bob. And I think having 3 to 5 of these specific strategies that you practice enough in your workouts and you practice enough in some lower stakes races, then will set you up in these bigger races to have this toolkit to then apply, right, what works in that moment, knowing that something maybe is not going to work in that moment that maybe usually does, but you have other options to then try. And just that alone, trying different things can serve as a distraction enough to maybe get you through a hard moment. Because it's always about getting through just hard moments because it's going to get easier eventually, right? You just always cycle up and down in marathons, in long efforts.
and you just have to ride out these little periods. What do you think of that?
Snaps.
Oh,
These
these are
good claps. Yeah, these things.
little tiny violins.
No, one of these. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Good-
again, I
good.
think because this went well for you, I think this inner self-talk, I think I'd reflect a little bit on, again, what did go well.
Mhm.
And then you can maybe reflect back on some previous races where you struggled with the self-talk to kind of see if you applied some of these things from this race, that if that maybe would have changed things.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I like it. I'll do that.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. Recording these calls has been nice because I listen back and then I'm like, I'm gonna do that right now. It's actually been
Good.
very helpful for me, if nothing else.
Good. Excellent.
Yeah.
Happy to hear that. And now that you're finished with this little side quest, we got a couple other things as well. Okay. So tell me about how you're feeling about Twin Cities and Javelina.
Great. Yeah, we can keep this honestly pretty brief 'cause I know you need to run, and I also am fine doing that as well. The two big things I guess that you need to know right now is one, my post tib still hurts since grandma's, so I'm just like I'm fixing it. I'm getting it fixed. So I'm doing the things. It's nothing crazy. It's been the same. It's just like there. I mean, I didn't feel it at all during the half, and then afterwards, I feel it like walking around the next day in the mornings like that. So it's just some tendonitis type thing. So yeah, getting acupuncture now. I think simply giving it like 2 days out. I'm TBD on. I might take Wednesday off too from running. I might get just 3 days, and then because like if I take a full day off of running and was biking, the next day I would almost not feel it at all. And then I run, it just comes back it's like a 2-3. So it's just like there. So I'm a little like just want to make sure that goes away before I hit some of the highest mileage I've ever hit in my life. I do. So that's the one thing. Just heads up on that. And then the other thing is, and we can it'd be cool if we chatted again maybe in like a couple weeks as we get into the build. And so if you need to think about this, that's fine. I'm thinking about potentially only lifting once a week.
Okay.
I know. This is
Wow.
coming from Jacob. I know it's crazy. I think I need to do it to handle more volume for 8 weeks. I know. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. But
Repeat it one more time.
I think I need to do it for if I'm gonna because look. I can be wrong at times. I think there's a time and place to build some strength, but I do think after like one of our last conversations, I was like, okay, I'm sick of I could go into like some of these runs less sore. So
Yeah.
And I'm not gaining in weight room because I'm running so much. So and I lift 2 to 3 times all the time. So if you're listening to this right now, it does not mean I don't think endurance athletes at times should lift more. That's not what I'm saying, because I'm a little bit of a different boat. I think I am stronger than the average runner, and I think I could actually go maybe the other direction for a little bit. So I think my idea is that I'm going to lift athletic movements with my trainer, and do ISOs and stuff for the next 8 weeks, and just kind of like, just do that once a week. And then I wanted to get your thoughts on it, but I think that I need to do that for like
Yeah. I think that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Because I think, I mean, you are an expert in human performance, in your line of work. And when I think you're pushing your body in so many different ways, your body's trying to figure out where it should adapt. Right. So it has to compromise somewhere. It can't adapt across the board with everything that you do. So I think there is tremendous value in having some priority, right? In choosing to exist in a season of that priority. And that season being 2 months is not that much. And that is something, of course, you can circle back to on the other side of either Twin Cities or Javelina. And you can get your strength back and progress in the weight room pretty quickly on the other side of that. And I think that does have benefits for running. But I know most people who I have run with who's performing at a very high level will reduce their lifting pretty
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah, like a lot
Right.
with the
Yeah,
last
essentially.
couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So, yeah. And I want to give this TCM build just everything I've got in terms of the running. Like I wanna put it just very much on the front, and I want to see what I can do at TCM. And not have any like weight room goals, just focus on running for a little bit, and then I'll go back to lifting after October. So
No, I think it makes a lot of sense.
I haven't done that. I realized I hadn't done that in like a while. So I think probably a few years, really. So I think it'd be interesting to see what happened.
Honestly, I think that would probably be good for your lifting. To have time away from it, really to allow your body some recovery, some reset. And I think I would be very curious to see how your body changes, right? Just to see does it adapt in one way or another with more running and less lifting. I'm going to be curious. Yeah.
Good fun experiment.
Yeah. A couple months from now. So I think I'm going to push things on you for this week, because I could see there being value in pretty much not running at all this week.
Okay.
And if to really allow your post-tib to recover, but to really absorb all this great work that you put in already, I could see that being maybe a little anxiety provoking, knowing that we're under 10 weeks, I think now.
8 weeks from Sunday, I think.
8 weeks. Yeah.
It's wild. I feel better though about just jumping up after we've talked about that a few times too. I definitely feel like I have the patience, or the body awareness to run easy as I go back up right away and just be very smart. So I'm comfortable doing that. So
yes. Is it really 8 weeks?
It's 8 weeks from Sunday. I heard. Well, someone told me that 2 days ago. I think it was 9 weeks from yesterday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, it's 10 weeks from Sunday. 9 weeks. We got 9 weeks.
We got 9 weeks. We're good, dude. We're good.
Well,
so
over 9 weeks from right now. It was 10 weeks from yesterday.
Right,
it was 10 weeks from yesterday. So
okay.
Never mind. We're good.
Dude, I think we're totally good. So if this week really is just recover, reset, fuel, rest, all that kind of good stuff, then I think we'd be able to push training more in the volume sense than we have in the past, because you'd be coming into it hopefully more refreshed, right? With all the work that you've been able to put in this year, which I know that you're a more capable athlete now than I think you ever have been. I really do believe that. And it's a very short marathon build. So we're not going to run up against the accumulation of fatigue that can sometimes happen in a 12 to 16 week traditional build. So I think your body is going to really vibe with this, and we'll just throw you in pretty quickly with volume and intensity, because again, it's not a foreign concept to you any longer at this point in your running career or at this point in the year. I think you can jump back into 50, 60 miles pretty quickly off the rip with a couple of sessions, and then we can move you up to 70 pretty quickly after that.
Yeah, I want to hit just volume I really want to get some of the more volume I've ever gotten, because I feel like this year has been a lot prepping me to do another big volume block.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think how I would structure things slightly different is I have, I think, done a more traditional plan for you, squeezing in like 2 shorter sessions and then a long run. And I think this time around, I would just do one really hard, high volume workout in the week, and then one really hard marathon specific long run with like marathon pace, rotating with like a long, steady effort that's maybe longer than what we've typically done in the past, right? Something maybe more like 24 miles. Like, I think if we can get you to a 24-mile steady long run 4 weeks out from the marathon, like, bro, dude, you're going to be freaking dialed, you know?
yeah.
And I think that's going to build a lot of confidence for you.
I like it. The only thing schedule-wise that you need to know is the week of August 10th, I need to do the long run, if we have a long run that week, which I assume, on that Wednesday. I have that whole Wednesday morning off. Or we need to like do something that week where I will not be able. That's the only weekend I can't do a long run. There's a weekend in September that I'll need to do a long run, likely that Friday morning, where I'll just bump it back a day or something. We'll talk about that later. But in August, the only weekend I can't is the weekend of the 15th. So, and that is our second week of training. So I don't know if you want to do something like a 10-day split that, I don't know, I'll let you figure that out, but just a heads up on that. I do have the 12th, that entire morning off. So I got 6 hours and then I've got 2 sessions that day. So, and then I'm going out of town the next day. So.
Yeah, let me look. Okay. So August. So you're saying August 15th and 16th, you have limited ability to train. Are you at all able to train those 2 days?
Yes. Yeah. And I could even like on the 16th, I could do like a double that day of like, 6 and 4 or something like that. I can tell you right now, I will not be able to do much. I will probably be drinking that weekend.
Hell yeah.
Hanging out at a bachelor party. So nothing like super crazy. We're going to be on a lake and stuff, but I just know there's no way I'm doing any crazy long run that. I think if we did a long run earlier in the week, that would be smarter.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So and then you said maybe the 12th would be a better day.
Yeah. I've already blocked off the 12th for some type of thing. So
are you able to do like a session on the 14th, that Friday? Or are you traveling that day?
Like a long run session?
It could be. I was debating because that is pretty early. So we can maybe squeeze in 2 lighter sessions, Monday, Friday, and then a long run Wednesday.
On the 12th?
Potentially.
Yeah. But probably make that work.
And I mean, that could literally just be something like 30 seconds.
Definitely can make that work. Yeah.
Okay.
It's more of like the time constraint of me leaving because there's going to be like, we'll go golf, and then I'll be maybe on the lake, and I feel like I don't love, like if it's like a bachelor party for like 3 days and there's a bunch of things planned for me to like be like, I can't make that thing for you because I have to be out for 2 hours to run. So like it's more of like the super long thing. But if it's like an hour, I can definitely run. I could even potentially run twice all those days. Being gone for the long period of time is what is the hard thing.
Okay. Heard. Yeah, let's maybe touch base on that weekend specifically as we get closer to it.
Okay.
I'll plan to not lock in anything. I'll start kind of building out a framework through Twin Cities. And then for this week, let's for sure I'm going to say, as of right now, let's also take Wednesday off. Let's for sure take tomorrow, Wednesday off completely. No training, period. Thursday, are you going to lift in the morning? Is that when you're...
Yeah, I'll lift. I think that might be my last Thursday lift with my friend until we're both through. He's doing Superior Hundo, and then I'm doing TCM.
nice.
So I already told him that I'm probably going to stop lifting, unfortunately, until after this.
All right,
so
last one.
Time, yeah. And then
Okay.
next week I'll do. I think I'm going to lift Monday mornings still, just because that works really good for the schedule. But if I needed to move it, I might be able to move it with Zach again. But I think that it works very well to lift.
And you lift in the morning on Monday?
Yeah.
What does your schedule look like Wednesday?
Currently we do the hills, the trail run in the morning on Wednesday. And then that's pretty much it. I teach a noon class. Wednesday is pretty much my day off a lot of times.
Okay. Do you have to participate in this trail run?
I would say I need to participate more in that than the lifting on Monday. If I needed to potentially move the lifting on Monday. Do you want me to do the long? You want me to do a harder effort on Wednesday?
Well, I'm thinking about, again, like, because what I'd love is for these two, if I'm just going to give you 2 workouts a week, a hard, shorter, like more like threshold VO2 max workout, double threshold. I'm going to give you some double thresholds just so you know. Maximize some volume on that during the week effort, and a long marathon specific long run. I want those days to be hard, right? Those days are going to be like your really hard key focus days. And it's lifting, I think, could interfere with that if it's misplaced, right? If you're still trying to like get a high quality lift in, even though it's maybe going to be different. So I would say, yeah, if you're able to do your workout and lift on the same day, that your workout should be first. Your running workout should be first. If you're not able to do it on the same day, to have at least 1 day recovery in between. So that's where...
Would it be possible to do the hard speed session on Thursday and the long run on Sunday?
We could do that.
Would that work instead of Wednesday, Saturday?
Yeah, that could work. It's going to be tight. So
would you prefer? So you'd prefer Wednesday to Sunday? Speed Wednesday, Sunday long run.
So it's Friday, Saturday, then Sunday. 2 days recovery from that. A lot of recovery after. I think we can do that. Because I think one thing that we could also do is could you run like a kind of longer run Monday after your lift?
Yeah, I usually go to Twin Cities Track Club Monday night, but I could also carve time Monday morning to also run.
Okay. Would you do workouts Monday night?
It's like potentially it's harder to do workouts at night for me. I will say, like, traditionally speaking, I feel like I don't perform as well in them, but maybe that's something I need to just get over.
Let's think. Okay, so what if you do you like participating in the workout on Monday? Like, is that something that you think would be valuable?
Oh, that's an easy run.
Oh, that's just an easy. Oh, that is.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Yes. Let's plan Thursday, Sunday. Thursday, Sunday.
then maybe Tuesday can be your longer midweek long run. Could you do that?
I think that would work really well because Monday,
Okay.
Tuesday, I feel like mentally are the 2 days I'm most drained too.
Okay.
Just from like
Great.
work and stuff. Usually by Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I feel like I'm pretty in
Great. Yeah.
after the Wednesday. I think we try that.
Okay. Let's try that. So yeah. This is so Tuesday, kind of like your longer midweek long run. Maybe build that up to 14, 15 even potentially on your highest
Yeah.
volume week.
Yeah. Cool.
Thursday, rotating between lactate threshold, double threshold, and then maybe 1 or 2 VO2 max workouts. We don't have a ton of time. Sunday, kind of rotated between long, steady, and like marathon specific sessions. Probably almost all of them will be 20 plus because that's going to be a big day. That's like,
That's good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah. I think that'll work good.
okay. And then in terms of volume for this build, what do you feel like you'd be pretty stoked on building to?
Man, I would love to get like definitely into the 70s. I don't know. Maybe higher, maybe even higher. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I think that'd be pretty freaking sick if I could do that.
Maybe just dabble with the 80s. Maybe dabble with 180.
That'd be pretty sick. That'd be dope. I've been pretty stoked about that. I've never done anything like that. So
Okay.
I think my highest week is like 76 right now. So
I think we can. Yeah.
I think we did that
Let's do that.
once, twice. Let's do it. Sweet. Sounds
Sweet.
good. Thanks,
Cool.
Doug.
Keep me posted this week. How are you feeling? But yeah, definitely take advantage of a low week of training.
Yeah.
And fuel up.
Okay. Get ready for what's ahead. I like it.
That's right.
Time to go to war. All right.
Yes, sir. Cool. Say hi to Kaylee for me. And talk soon, brother.
All right. Thanks for everything, dude. Appreciate you.
Okay. Yep. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
That's a wrap. If you are new here, welcome. We're so glad you get to do this with us. Before you go, what's your we get to do this moment for the week? We'd love to hear it. Comment on this episode or email us at wegettodothis@gmail.com.
And if this episode hit for you, share it with a friend and leave us a review on whatever platform you listened on. It genuinely helps. We get to do this.